Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new month of Moody Talks. So, if you've been following along for the past few months, we've been working through the modules of DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy. Now, this is a therapy that works very well for me. It was created by a woman named Marsha Linehan, and it was created for people who had PTSD. And so it's worked very well for people who have trauma in their past. And, if you have a lot of trauma built up into your system, your body chemistry changes, the neurons in your brain changes. And so you may have heightened awareness of different things. Like I have hypervigilance and, it's just some of the things that can happen. And when you have PTSD, you have a lot of difficulty with distress, being able to bring down your stress. And so this is what this module is made for. Distress tolerance is so that when you're in a situation that is emotionally draining or very stressful, with a lot of heightened emotion to it, that you have these kind of skills that you can use to help bring down the intensity of the moment and the intensity of the emotions. So it's very important. And it's not just for people with PTSD, it's for everyone, because we all go through really stressful moments, really stressful situations, and need to learn these type of skills to get ourselves away from that intensity and the draining that it can feel like, the heightened stress that it causes. So it's a very important set of skills that you can learn to help you better get through those moments. So there are a couple different great ways to do this. And distress tolerance, some of the skills have to do with, changing your body chemistry, getting yourself out of the moment by changing something physically so that you're not in the intensity, that you've moved away from the situation and the thought process and completely gone and done something else to take a hold of your mind in the moment. There's physical things that you can do, like I said, changing your body temperature, and those type of skills we'll be talking about are a set called TIP. And we'll be using another one that some people they hear the words radical acceptance, and they have this idea that it means that you have to accept whatever has happened to you and accept that, whether or not it was, the right thing, that you're just to accept it. That's not what radical acceptance is. And we're going to go through that as well. So I think it's important to let you know that that's coming ahead, and you'll get to learn a lot more about radical acceptance in the terms of DBT. There are so many different ways to understand radical acceptance. And there are some really great ones. If you've never heard of Tara Brach, she was actually the first person to introduce me to radical acceptance. And although DBT is different in its ways of looking at radical acceptance, it still was a great way to venture into the idea that you can't change everything. So let's figure out what you need to do to make it easier for you. So that's pretty much what distress tolerance is. Again, we're going to do body chemistry stuff. We're going to do, emotional switches, changes, and, just going straight from the situation into something else to take you out of the intensity of the moment. There are lots of other great tips for it, and it's really hard. I don't really have a lot to tell you in this part. It's really got more to do with, understanding it as we go through the weeks and go through the skills. So just be open to the idea of having different skills to help you with this. I mean, there's one that's problem solving that really helps, and that also kind of takes you out of the moment. There's skills like pros and cons that you can do during the situation, or taking yourself out of the situation and doing this skill so that you're not only bringing the intensity of the moment down, you're also analyzing the situation to see what is best for you in that moment. So I hope you guys will check in each week. Again, this is an extremely important part of learning emotional intelligence is how do you get yourself to calm down, to feel better, to feel less intense emotion in a situation. And I think you're going to find a lot of these tricks and tips very useful and things that you really didn't even think about, but actually are very helpful in the moment. So stay tuned, and we will see you next week with one of our tricks. I think we'll do tip next week. Again, it's about like body temperature changes and breathing techniques, stuff like that. So I hope that you'll tune in, and I will see you next week. Have a great